Scream 6 is upon us. You can read my full review right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. I'll put a link in the description of this video on YouTube. But since the film's franchise record-breaking opening weekend, the directors have literally been spilling their guts this past week, talking about all kinds of hidden details and Easter eggs that we may not have even noticed, in addition to the many that are overtly present and that we probably did take notice of. And a big part of that, of course, is because of that Halloween setting. The film takes place in the days leading up to and culminating on October 31st. So that means almost every frame of action features some background characters in costumes, and many of those costumes reference pop culture and specifically the horror genre and specifically this franchise, various links to this franchise. And of course, one of the major set pieces in the whole film is that subway scene. Costumed partiers, revelers, and so many of those costumes are references to all of our favorite horror films and just iconic figures in pop culture. And so just a few days ago, in a new interview with Variety, directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette, as well as costume designer Avery Plewes, gave up all the spoilers on over 50 Easter eggs that they planted throughout the film just in those Halloween costumes. And many of those you can't even see. They are just buried in the background. It is so dense in that subway scene and also at the frat party in the beginning of the film. But this Variety article very thankfully goes the extra mile and has them list over 50 of these references, specific character costumes that are in the movie somewhere. So now, of course, the bigger challenge becomes finding many of these that we didn't notice on that first viewing. But here is that massive list. Starting with references and costumes from Wes Craven movies, there is Sadie from the 1972 classic The Last House on the Left, as well as costumes referencing A Nightmare on Elm Street, Deadly Blessing, Deadly Friend, Shocker, The People Under the Stairs, and Vampire in Brooklyn. Some non-horror themed costumes and cameos in the film include Jennifer Lopez, Gloria Steinem, David Bowie, Julia Fox, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Andy Warhol, Claus Nomi, Angela Davis, Orville Peck, Spike Lee, as well as Scream 6 co-director Matt Bettinelli-Olpin dressed as Kurt Cobain, his co-director Tyler Gillette with a fake butcher knife in his head, and producer William Shrek's daughter as Eloise. Some of the Easter eggs and costumes with significance within the Scream universe are, of course, Michael Myers, as well as Dr. Samuel Loomis in there, who is the namesake of Billy Loomis, of course. Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees is, of course, on the subway and seen on TV in Jason Takes Manhattan. And as we saw earlier, you see Freddy in there referencing the conversation between Kirby and Mindy earlier in the film. Dazed and Confused is represented by someone at the frat party wearing a jersey with the number 10, which is the same number Tatum wore in the original Scream. There's also Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls, who is also voiced by Ghostface voice Roger L. Jackson. There's Shaun of the Dead, which of course Kirby is watching in Scream 4. The anthology film VHS is also referenced, as Bettinelli-Olpin and Gillette created and starred in a VHS short as a pirate teddy bear and the Unabomber. And in that early frat party scene, that is why, in fact, Tara is dressed as a pirate. Someone else is dressed as a teddy bear, and there was going to be someone there dressed as a Unabomber, but they had to miss that scene because they tested positive for you-know-what. And here you see, of course, the Babadook mentioned in Scream 5 and Radio Silence's previous film of Ready or Not. Of course, Samara Weaving is in this film. She starred as Grace, and there is a character costumed as Grace on the subway as well. And the Black Phone, the Grabber's Mask, it can also be seen. And there are so many other costumes seen throughout, and some, like I said, not even seen because they're so buried in the back, including the Tethered from Jordan Peele's Us. Of course, Wednesday, a nod to Jenna Ortega, who stars in this film, and as Wednesday on the Netflix hit series. There's also nods to the classic film Eyes Without a Face, Hitchcock's The Birds, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Carrie, The Shining, Videodrome, Children of the Corn, Top Gun, Hellraiser, Child's Play, It, Sonic the Hedgehog, The Grudge, Sam from Trick or Treat is even in there. And just over the shoulder of this Ghostface in this still, you can see a familiar werewolf mask that is from the 2014 film Creep. You can also see nods to The Handmaid's Tale, Midsommar, X, another in joke with Jenna Ortega also starring in that one, and Jordan Peele's Nope. How many of these did you spot when you watched Scream 6? And how many of you are going to go back and freeze frame it once you own the Blu-ray to try to spot even more of your favorites in some of these scenes? I'd love to hear your thoughts on Scream 6, on the Halloween setting, all the costumes and Easter eggs embedded within. Let us hear from you in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our ongoing coverage of all things Scream, Ghostface, and Halloween 2023 right here on the HDN YouTube channel. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.